4 seconds faster than Katayama, and Damon Hill is just out of the points, and the gap between them is enough. Oh, what's that wheel off? It's a Ferrari, and it's not. It's a Minardi, and it looks to me as though there's been an accident in the pit lane now. It's a Ferrari mechanic that's on the ground. I'm guessing, because I didn't see it happen, but it's clear that a wheel came off the Minardi, which may well have happened as a result of a collision in the pit lane. But now this is the last thing that the San Marino Grand Prix needs, and there's chaos in the pit lane. There's a danger of cars coming in at high speed. And well, that is a Minardi. I can't see whether it's Albreto's Minardi. And there's Gerhard Berger in his overalls.
Yes, it might be in fact that the right rear wheel clearly has come off the car, possibly because it was not put on properly with these very rapid pit stops. There's a big responsibility on the mechanics and the team and the person controlling the pit stop to make sure that the wheels are all on and done up tightly before the car accelerates hard out of the pit lane.
I'm guessing, but it wouldn't surprise me at all in view of the way this race has gone and the chaos in the pit lane and the fact that there's a stretcher there to see the race stopped. It's run the mandatory distance of 3/4 in order to enable full World Championship points to be awarded, although that is a bit irrelevant now too. And I wouldn't be at all surprised to see the red flags come out to stop one of the most unhappy races. It's been my ill fortune to watch in my entire Grand Prix viewing career. And on lap 50 now, in this 50 lap race, as you see the medical attendant come up to the stricken Ferrari mechanic, Michael Schumacher is 35 seconds ahead of Ferrari's Larini, who is about 40 seconds ahead of Mika Häkkinen in third place, who is 2 seconds ahead of Wendlinger in fourth. Katayama is 11 seconds behind Wendlinger, and he's fifth. Katayama sixth is Fittipaldi, and there is still 6 seconds between Fittipaldi, the last points scorer at the moment, and Damon Hill, who is in seventh place. And Schumacher has now lapped everybody up to, but not including, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, who is in 8th position. And the problem in the pit lane, as you can see, continues.
And back on the circuit, we've got Martin Brundle in 9th place, and 11th place is Mark Blundell in the Tyrrell, with Johnny Herbert in the Lotus, having a difficult time with the Lotus back in 12th place. Lotus still relying on their 1993 car with the older version of the Mugen, which is some 45 kilos of the car, 45 kilos overweight.
Well, Wendlinger was held up by Katayama there, who had been passed by Mika Häkkinen, and Katayama will know he's in 5th position and he's fighting for places, and he's probably not all that aware of the aggregate situation, and he knows that Wendlinger is one of the men against him, and he would be anxious not to let him get past. But Wendlinger has, and is now attacking Mika Häkkinen on lap 51 in what should be a 58-lap race. And as that caption shows you, the two men that you are watching, who are third and fourth, are separated by just over 2.5 seconds, they being both team members who are looking for a third place for their current teams, because McLaren Peugeot have yet to finish on the rostrum, the top 3 places, as have Sauber. Sauber had a 4th place here last year when JJ Leto took that position, 4th position for the Sauber Ilmor team as it was then. It's the Sauber Mercedes team now. We're on lap 51, coming up towards the closing stages of it, and that is a replay of what happened. You see Michele Albreto's car with the wheel bouncing off. It's obviously, I really don't know, but I would think it's more likely that the wheel wasn't put on than that he hit something. If you remember, Nigel Mansell had a similar problem in the Portuguese Grand Prix the year before last, when the wheel nut wasn't put on properly. The wheel came off as he was exiting the pit lane, and it takes virtually no time at all for a car to build up to 100 miles an hour. That is De Cesaris, who has retired from 10th position in the closing stages of this unhappy race.
Interestingly, De Cesaris is the most experienced driver in Grand Prix, although you wouldn't believe it looking at that. He's finished, or certainly started, 190 Grand Prix in his career. He's been off throughout the winter, having driven for Tyrrell last year, and was drawn into the Jordan team after the Eddie Irvine suspension, and has had a difficult time. The Jordan team have had a very difficult time too, with De Cesaris being in that position. He crashed in testing at Mugello, and here we have a replay.
Yes, you saw the wheel fly off Albereto's car. I hope I'm not maligning the team when I suggest that the wheel may not have been put on properly, but it didn't. It's not a situation where you would expect him to hit another car forcibly enough to remove a rear wheel. And there are now only 12 cars running out of the 25 who started this race.
No, I certainly agree there, Murray. There is nothing in the pit lane that can be hit that would certainly cause a wheel to come off, apart from the pit wall, and then it would have been the other side. But De Cesaris, he crashed in testing at Mugello, he crashed in practice yesterday, and he's also, of course, gone off the track again here today. And that's Damon Hill,
who is now in the points in 6th position on aggregate. So this would move him up to second equal in the World Championship with Rubens Barrichello, both on 7 points. If Damon stays where he is now, he might actually catch Fittipaldi on aggregate, because there is only 1 second between them, and Damon Hill is lapping 2 seconds a lap faster than Fittipaldi. In fact, I think there's little doubt at all that Damon would finish in 5th position. I can't see him catching Wendlinger, because there's 14 seconds between them, and Damon is